cavities.
¡Qué padre!
What's up, everybody? Hello. Welcome to Que Padre, a fatherhood podcast about Latino fatherhood in general, mental health, relationships, and everything in between. I am your host, Froy. I have my other host, Chris, who is very happy, as you can see, to be on tonight with us and be here,
What-
vivo and en
What's up?
directo.
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. ¿Ves cómo cambia la cara, güey? Hey, so how you doing, man? How's the last 2 weeks been? How you doing? ¿Cómo te va?
It hasn't been like it hasn't felt like it was 2 weeks. It didn't feel like 2 weeks. It felt
All
like
right.
last week.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Um, for me, it's been one of those things where I've been kind of looking forward to it because I've been dealing with a lot of craziness at home. We
Huh?
started potty training for my son Vidal. Y fa, it's been a good one, man. Uh, if for those that didn't see the reel that I made, así es. At least with us, we're doing a lot of the potty training at home, and we're the ones that are kind of taking the lead with a big uh a big desmadre to make it easy. Miados and popo everywhere. Good times, exciting. But
This
hello.
is
Yeah, how you guys doing?
this
Say
is
what's up.
this is where you wish all your furniture was leather or pleather.
No. We cleaned up. We cleared out the living room. I moved the couches back. I don't let Vidal on the couch until after he goes to the restroom, and then even then we have a bunch of doggy pads, the little pets. Y con esas, güey, las ponemos por todos lados. Vámonos. And yeah, man. So that's kind of what we've been dealing with, but it's been going. It's an adventure. It's yeah, man. Está chido. Está chido.
When
Um,
and when you with your daughter, when you first started with her, did you ask your parents how they did it with you?
no.
No. Okay.
So we actually read a book that Vero found, and we did a little research on how to do it. This
Well,
book
yeah,
called
you guys like your books.
called Oh Crap, potty training. It's
Yeah,
pretty
man.
dope. It's pretty dope because the lady that does it, I tagged her on the reel if anybody's interested in checking out the book. Este, she kind of keeps it real and what the whole situation does. So her story is she does that for a living with like daycare and she teaches kids to potty train. That's what she does, and the process that she does is pretty dope. Because it essentially eliminates diapers, dog. A veces, people do pull-ups or, vamos a salir, fucking put a diaper, like, and with this process, no way. Like, it's a trip to see Vidal go from clueless to, oh shit, I'm peeing. Oh damn, he se sienta, and he'll pee and they clap it up, and he picks up the little potty, so lo lleva, it gets a trip, bro. And en una semana es el cambio que se vio. And obviously, like we've taught them, we're still working with them, and now it's just repetition and repetition y hasta que le se va. Pero the biggest thing of him identifying that he has to go or feeling that he has to hold it and stuff, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but it's been an adventure for sure. So yeah, but with that, I do want to jump into our topic today because I think it's gonna be a really, really good one. Um, for anybody out there, feel free to send us your comments. Feel free to send us uh, your thoughts. Send us your ideas, your questions. But today's topic, essentially, we are gonna talk about no sabo kids, right? Um, specifically not no sabo kids, but Spanish or a second language in your family, right? Chris, you and I are both first generation Latinos. We're the first born here. Our parents are from Mexico. They're immigrants. But no, you. Oh no, tú sí eres de allá,
Yeah,
right?
but my sister was born here first.
Okay. So I'm
Mhm.
first generation born here, and I'm at that point where I'm deciding, do I want to make sure that Emilia Vidal know Spanish, speak Spanish, understand it, and can communicate and learn it as they grow up, or is it not that important, right? Um, so that's kind of the topic I want to kind of get into, but let's talk about it. So Chris, let's start with you today. Um, you being the kid que vino, a ¿qué edad te viniste?
I was too young. I've been here all my life, bro. So that's not even a point to bring up as far as me being full Mexican because I've been here since year one.
Yeah.
Um, but uh, I want to say growing up, uh, and I remember specifically not so much from my dad, but more from my mom. En la casa se habla español.
Yep.
And I don't really recall the time or the year that we learned how to speak English. I think it just happened gradually when we started going to school.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember it being difficulties, for myself or my brother or even for my sister.
Okay.
Because for my sister, she was born here, but then they went back to Mexico, and then that's when I was born. So my sister went to school in Mexico and here. And by the time she came back, I believe she didn't know any English by the time she came back.
Oh, so she has a totally different experience then.
Yeah, so maybe she'll comment later, tomorrow or whatnot. But um, I just remember we were speaking earlier, and I remember I remember I don't know if it was exactly ESL classes or
Yeah.
they were just bilingual classes, but I remember in grade school, just kinder, I had a teacher that spoke Spanish and one that spoke English. Pero como te dije, after that, it's been English since then. Obviously, not till high school, where we chose an elective. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's
You chose the easy A with Spanish if you knew Spanish.
that's what I thought because I didn't start at Spanish one or Spanish two. Yo dije, yo chingón, güey. Yo ya sé inglés perdón, español. Y me metí en español 3, güey. Completely different world.
Yeah.
Completely different world. You
Yeah.
know,
There's a lot of
que daban los acentos aquí y el pretérito y el de este y el otro. And I was just like, ¿qué?
¿Cómo?
What?
What? um. Yeah.
Pero,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember at home, my mom, if we spoke any English between my brother and I, or my sister and I, se enojaba, güey. Se enojaba.
Yeah.
Me
Pues es que no te
decía,
entienden.
me decía, aquí hablamos puro español. Yo no te entiendo. Hablamos puro
Mhm.
español y yo no sé lo que estás diciendo y este y lo otro, right? So for us, it was normal. Obviously, it was just like second, just like if I was taking a step, whether it's uh switching your brain from English to Spanish, from Spanish to English, to a combination of both, right?
Um, was it ever like your mom or your dad nunca te dijeron, hey, quiero que aprendas inglés, pero también quiero que aprendas español, or, you know, habla
Como, como
bien,
te,
quiero que
como
hables
te
bien,
digo,
or
sí. See,
Was it ever
so como
like
te
I know they
digo,
said talk Spanish at home, but was it ever like, hey, quiero que
no, because we spoke Spanish only at home, y si decíamos una palabra incorrecta en español, luego venían las correcciones.
Simón?
So, mi mamá siempre nos corregía, mi papá siempre nos corregía, especially my dad. My dad being a university kid, an educated person, he according to him, he wasn't gonna allow any of his kids to be no sabo kids, if you put
No
it that way,
sabo kids, yeah.
back in the 80s. So, uh, which there, I guess, if you think about it, there were no sabo kids because they were saying words that are technically incorrect. Like quiquea la pelota, parquea el
They're
carro.
they're chicanadas, I think they're called.
Yeah, well, they're English words converted into Spanish to make it easier for us to well, at least, or maybe for our parents and before that generation, so they can be able to speak to I guess in English or
Yeah.
or
Well,
or
and I
German.
think and I think part of that is maybe the part of the assimilation, right? Where you're trying to explain a word that you don't know. You know what it's in English, but you don't know what it's in Spanish. Quiqueala, right? Quiqueala.
Yeah,
Or like
like,
it's not that you don't. It's just you don't know the word, but you you
right.
know
So,
you
but
know
you
it
know
in
it
one
in
language.
English,
You know in English, but you don't necessarily how to say it in Spanish. So how do you pues
convert it.
quiqueala?
Yeah, yeah,
Quiqueala, right?
yeah.
But yeah, no, I completely understand that.
So esas palabras nos te digo, oh man, especially my dad. My dad was a huge on that because again, like I tell you, he didn't want us to sound like he would say like idiots. Dice, yo no creé ningún pendejo. Ustedes van a hablar bien, van a poder comunicarse bien, which I think my parents that they did it that way, or they did it at a young age because like if you want to put it as a career in my early career in sales, it helped me a lot,
Yeah. Oh, big
a
time.
lot, bro, a lot. An advantage towards a lot of people, even advantage towards people that spoke Spanish, but again didn't speak it right, or didn't speak it enough, or made it relatable to that person, right?
Yeah.
Y me acuerdo todavía hasta el último me decían, oh, me gusta ir con Chris, porque Chris me explica bien. No me dice palabras que no entiendo, o esto y lo otro,
Yeah.
Pero eso fue parte porque mi papá, específicamente mi papá, nos hablaba, y obviamente mamá también, pero mi papá nos hablaba el español más correcto.
Yeah.
Y si tú algún día pensaste que yo hablo o hablaba el español más o menos bien, bro, you should hear my sister. My sister's even more correct than I am. Again, she went to school in Mexico. She
Yeah.
lived 5, 6 years out there, so se le pegó mucho más a ella
No, pues sí.
que lo que yo sé.
Yeah.
Eh, pero fue por lo mismo, porque te digo, en la casa solamente eso, con las tías igual, los primos esos que te comenté anteriormente, con ellos casi siempre puro español, e igual, si poníamos una palabra que era inglés, pero la convertíamos en español, igual nos corregían. O por ejemplo, si decía yo mi nombre, right?
Chris.
So, no, not so much Chris. Si me preguntaban, oh, hey, what's your name, bro? Oh, I would say Christian Castaneda. And I would hear my cousin somewhere in the background. Yeah, ¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo?
Tú no te llamas así. ¿Cómo te llamas? Cristian. ¿Cómo te llamas? Cristian Castañeda. Así se dice. No con chingaderas que Castañeda o eso y lo otro.
But see, again, that's part of that assimilation where you're trying to say it so that they understand you and they can pronounce it, thinking, oh, they can't say it in Spanish, so you say it in English.
Yeah.
When I got to college, bro, like I would
Of
introduce
course.
myself. Freshman year, I would always introduce my name as I'm Froilan. I'm Froilan. Oh, what was that? I'm Froilan. Oh my God, is that Spanish? Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? And so it got to a point where like one of my soccer coaches
It just gets
started
tiring.
calling me. He used to call me, "Hey, Froilan, hey, Froilan," and so I started introducing myself as Froilan,
Yeah.
Froilan, 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 and then not that it's wrong, but it's like my name is Froilan, you know, um, and so then I started changing it. I said, all right, you know what, Froy, it's that's not neither English nor Spanish. Froy, they can go either way, whatever that works, and it's short and it's
But
easy.
it's a way of saying it that is easy for people. That's why
Both,
with me too, I stopped saying Christian. I shortened it to Chris, because a lot of people me decía Cristina, güey. I fucking used to
nah,
hate
no
it.
manches.
Sí, güey, gente que no le... just till this day, bro. Voy a un lugar donde pongo mi nombre o lo que sea en... Cristina? No. Read it correctly. I know you know how to read. Because my name doesn't have an H. So a lot of people read read it
Huevones.
so quick. It's a lazy reader. They read it quick, thinking it says Christina. You know,
Yeah,
which obviously it's incorrect. But also, you know what it is too. When we say our name in Spanish, the way it is supposed to be, I think it's a pride thing, bro. It's a pride thing, and it's something that you want to be proud of your name as well, because our names get butchered so much, especially you with Froilan, me with my last name, Castanda, Cas, just Chris,
yeah,
So, and it's I think it's sad that we have to make it easier for people because that's not the name that we were given, you know. And obviously, you have your name because of your father, you know,
yeah. But it goes
and
back to that assimilation, bro. You're
no, I know,
you're you're in
I
you're
know.
in the country where the language is different. So uh
It was different.
yeah. Um yeah, I noticed a lot of that. All of that I noticed it as soon as I got to college. It's a trip. And then, you get to college and then, your freshman year you meet whoever and slowly vas conociendo a la gente. It's kind of the time where you're kind of finding yourself and finding your personality and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah,
And I remember again, I got into this flow. Oh, Froilan. Y después, parezco güero, güey. So all the white dudes, hey, what's up, bro? Hey, what's up? Hey, fácil, güey. I would identify with these dudes quick. Oh, what's your name? Oh, what's up, Froilan? Hey, man, what's good? Yeah? Easy, but it was easy. But I didn't really identify with a lot of Latinos. Like there wasn't a lot of Latino groups until I got into the fraternity. But that's different. And then I found, actually towards the end of my freshman year, the Latino group, kind of like Mecha, La Raza,
yeah.
and bro, it was a trip to hear so many other Latinos, um, that they embraced the culture and they were educated and they would kind of share their experiences and their thoughts and a way of thinking that I was like, man, like, yeah, I shouldn't necessarily assimilate as much as I'm being asked to. Like, no, be proud of your name, say it. If they can't say it, for lack of a better word,
Tough,
fuck them. Figure it
tough.
out. If you can't say it, that's your bad. And that's that. I'm not gonna mess up my name because of you, right?
Yep.
And
Mhm.
so yeah, then I started saying Froilan and Froilan and Freud. It's like a Freud, just so easy, just to I just didn't. I got tired of trying to correct people, and so yeah, man, like it definitely changed a lot of thoughts about my name and how I want to continue. And I wanted to learn Spanish. I talked more Spanish to people, and not that I was scared of Spanish or anything, but I always now I got to the point that Spanish was like my weapon now, because especially being in the theater, they're talking about something, and for whatever reason, if the script had a name of somebody in Spanish or there was a word in Spanish, hey,
You could
that
do
no,
it.
this is what this says. This says this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you speak Spanish for it? Yeah, I do. Nice. Okay, and then yeah, empiezas a platicar en español, and oh my god, and it just it's crazy how much you can embrace your culture and your language.
But that's the thing is not and it took you a minute, right? It took you a minute. It took you a while to see that it's not embarrassing
No,
to embrace your culture. It's not embarrassing to say your name correctly, right? It's not embarrassing to pronounce those R's, the R's, the E's, the Ñ's, you know, because to me, I was taught, tú eres Castañeda, siempre Castañeda, Castañeda, pero igual, cuando ya empecé middle school, y cuando ya empecé la high school, y es más, se me hizo a mí más, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Más, más que lo tuve que explicar más cuando nosotros nos mudamos de Los Ángeles a Ontario.
yeah,
Todavía a mediados de los 90 que nos cambiamos en 95, en Ontario la mayoría eran blancos, eran güeros.
yeah,
Sí había latinos, había muchos, pero igual ya eran latinos, ah, que ya tenían ahí ya varios años y ya hablaban más inglés que español,
Simón.
¿me entiendes? Y yo llegué al revés, era más español que inglés. Y igual, mi nombre, Cristian Castañeda, what? Cristian Castañeda, oh, is it Christian? Yes, it's Christian, you know. How do you pronounce your last name? It's Castan, N with the little thing. Oh, okay. And what's that little thing called? And what in Spanish is called, the ñ. But in English, I don't know what it is.
The tilde.
Okay, well, it's not even part of the English alphabet,
It's a
So,
punctuation mark.
well, not really a punctuation.
I know
It's
it's categorized as a
it's a
punctuation
it's a
mark on
squiggly,
there. Yeah,
squiggly.
yeah,
But so yeah, that's when I feel that I had to more of explain myself a lot more. And it was weird because I never had to explain who I was or who I am, right?
yeah,
As far as my name goes, because I haven't. I don't want to say my name. My last name is different, but it kind of is. You don't see it much. At least I haven't really seen it too much.
I say it all the time.
I've never really met too many people with those last names.
Yeah,
And if I ever did, it wasn't anybody that I ever hung around with or anything like that.
yeah,
So, but yeah. Other than that, I am glad that my parents, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Inculcaron eso en nosotros, donde el español fue primero. Una de las cosas que decía mamá siempre, el inglés lo van a aprender en la escuela de todos modos. El inglés lo van a aprender, pero el español es diferente, porque no está, como dices tú, no estás en un país donde español es número uno. Es al
Yeah.
revés. El inglés es primero y después el español. Y en la escuela no te van a enseñar igual, solamente una clase. Y depende de la clase que estés, el
Depende de lo que estén.
español o la calidad del español varía mucho.
Y es más, es catalán, güey, el que enseña en la high school a veces.
Sí, es vosotros, en usted.
It's catalán, güey. Por eso I'm saying it's catalán. Um, uh, which Catalan is the European Spanish, not the Mexican Spanish. Which there is a difference. um,
Well, there's a different Spanish everywhere, bro.
yeah, yeah. But
Everywhere.
now let's fast forward because to me the same thing. All the things that your mom and your dad told you, a mí también. En la casa
Yeah.
hablamos español, en la escuela hablan inglés. Es más, me enseñan el inglés a mí, pero hablen español, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward, you have your kids now.
Yeah.
Um, all the Spanish that you learned at home, school, whatever. Now you have your kids. They're technically, let's just for the sake of argument here, they're the second generation
Hmm.
Latinos of the family.
Yep.
How have you kept Spanish? Did you keep Spanish? Was it something that you guys tried to get from the beginning? Do they speak Spanish? Like what's been the experience there?
It's been a little difficult, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a little difficult because when we first had Adrian, yes, igual, también todo puro español. Porque también en la casa de su mamá hablaban puro español. Los cuatro abuelos de Adrián era puro español.
Mm-hmm.
Am, igual, te me hace que con él empezó más ya el inglés en la escuela, en el daycare, pues.
Yeah.
En el daycare, es que a los 3 años ya empezó el inglés y el inglés y el inglés. Y les hablábamos español, pero igual no era con la misma intención, ¿me entiendes? Que nuestros papás. Am, con nosotros, obviamente, no teníamos opción.
Mm-hmm.
Pues nosotros sí les hablábamos inglés, igual español o Spanglish, ¿me entiendes?
Yeah.
Entonces, Adrián, más bien, los dos entienden el inglés, el español, te lo entienden bien. Iris no le gusta hablar español,
Mm-hmm.
para nada. Y era la que más hablaba español. De más chiquita, ella hablaba mucho más español que Adrián.
Mm-hmm.
Ella sí se le entendía, she would roll her R's and all that. Pero nada más, igual, ya dejó mi mamá de cuidarla y el español como que se le fue. Adrián era más bien empezando la escuela, también el inglés como que
Como que se le fue.
como que se le acabó.
Yeah. So here's so we're at a we're at a different we're at a different spot in our parenting journey here, right? But I do want to drop a little bit of knowledge for all the people that are and out there in the world of you know Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and everything. But I did do some research, and there was a study done by Mark Hugo Lopez at the Pew Research Center saying that among second generation Hispanics, Spanish dominance falls to 8%, but the share who are bilingual rises to 53%, and the share English dominant increases to 40. So the second generation, the Spanish dominance falls to 8%. Only 8% of those second generation speak Spanish. Um, and but 53% are, well, 8% is only Spanish, 53% is only English, perdón, bilingual, and 40% is only English. So by the third generation, they're essentially losing it, um, which is kind of crazy, but it's not, como te diré, it's not a surprise, right? And not necessarily because the parents don't want to talk about it, not because they don't want their kids to learn, but I think what it is that our kids are a little bit of a victim of their environment. Everything they do, gaming, school, friends, sports, 80% of the things that are going on in their life are in English. They're in America. Speak English. This is America, right? Um, the only place they could learn it would be at home. If, as second generation or first generation parents like myself, and I'm gonna count you too, Chris, if we don't speak Spanish at home, not because we don't want to, right? Not because we don't want to teach them, but if we don't speak Spanish with them at home, or they're not in an environment where they're speaking Spanish, then where are they going to learn it, right? Um, so it's one of those things that it depends, I think, also on the age. And the reason I'm saying that is before, I guess I want to say the people in like the 80s. I want to say like the people that came here like in the 80s, late 70s, 80s. A lot of those Chicanos that are here were told to learn English. Don't worry about Spanish, just learn English because you need to learn English to live in America. That's what they were told. That there's a bunch of documentaries of those Latinos that came and they lost the Spanish because they were told to learn English. They have kids. Their kids don't know. They don't know Spanish. Again, not because they didn't want to. It's just that's what their parents told them. Llegaron. They have to learn English so they can assimilate, so that they can be part of the culture. They can learn and they can be integrated into whatever they're doing. So they lost it because again, part of the environment, right? I've met a couple of third generation that wish they knew how to talk Spanish. Not because again they wish they knew how to talk Spanish, and it's not that nobody taught them necessarily, that nobody wanted to teach them. It's just the environment they were in. It wasn't prevalent. They'll understand it, and I know a lot of kids a lot of kids understand it, but they don't talk it.
Speak it,
They don't speak it, and if they don't speak it, then they don't practice it, right?
of course.
So for us, and I'll talk about our experience now a little bit. We are it's a little bit of both. Um, Emilia knows Spanish because my mom helped take care of her a lot, and allá con mi mamá pues puro español, which is a very similar experience to what my boy Carlos is over here saying on Instagram, that his mom and his mother-in-law, like, they all talk Spanish, so it's easy for the girls to know Spanish because they're in the Spanish environment all day. Like your mom said, you're gonna learn English because you're gonna learn it at school. I mean, I don't have to teach it to you, but Spanish you gotta learn it at home. Um, so right now where we're at is we're trying to teach the kids Spanish, but we get caught up in the daily routine, and we talk in English, and we talk to them in English, and I get myself thrown off sometimes because I try to talk to them in Spanish, and Emilia gives me this look of, and then I tell her in
Huh?
English what it is. Oh, okay, 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 right. So I think right now we're at a very important point in crossroads where either we create a no sabo kid, um, not intentionally, uh, but you know, not paying attention to it. And so I know Vero and I have both talked about talking more Spanish at home, because one, it'll help everybody, and it makes things easier. We have found a couple of Spanish shows to put for them on YouTube. I'll post another video on what those videos are that we can recommend, that from my experience that have worked.
No,
Uh,
pues lo,
that
lo, lo
we
mismo, lo mismo que hay en inglés, hay en español, güey.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
But I'm saying,
just
but so like, So like, but there's a couple that are specific to that are essentially like you're saying they're mirroring like the Miss Rachel. They're
Yeah.
mirroring, like the Bluey in Spanish or whatever. A lot of the songs they
Hmm.
like in Spanish, but there's specific ones that are very targeted to show Spanish, and they're kind of
Hmm.
bilingual, so they make it easy to kids to go back and forth. But I'll share that list later. It's just a thought that I had.
Pues, pues te digo, mira, lo que, sí, you're right on it. El problema es que no estamos dedicados a hablarles completamente en español todo el día y toda la noche. Se nos olvida. Igual a nosotros se nos hace más fácil el inglés porque ya it's like the back of your hand, you already know, it's second nature. Um, y lo habla uno sin pensarlo. Todavía cuando hablamos español, si no nos queremos oír como no sabo kids, tenemos que pensarle, ¿verdad? La palabra correcta o la palabra que podría explicar X situación mucho mejor ah, que cualquier otra palabra.
Um, no, I agree. And to comment on something that Adriana posted here on Instagram. Uh,
Oh, she did put.
yeah, she put on here essentially, my parents didn't think that it was important for us to know Spanish, but my grandparents did. That's one generation to the other, right?
So
And
that's the one that I'm witnessed that I was telling you. That was very difficult in the beginning. And when she was born, I was a teenager, basically,
mhm,
um, or a little younger than a teenager. Pero igual yo veía eso donde sus abuelos de ella, sus abuelos vienen siendo mis tíos, hermana de mamá, y mis primos, siempre querían que ella y su hermana hablaran español. Y la única razón por que comento sobre de ella es porque desafortunadamente, ella fue la primer, am, ¿cómo te puedo decir? Víctima de esa situación, donde, ok, su papá, sus tíos, sus tías, primas o lo que sea, anteriormente era puro español para nosotros.
yeah.
Y ahora ella que viene siendo en la familia de ella la segunda generación, este, ahora qué le van a enseñar a ella, español o inglés, ¿entiendes? Su mamá habla español también, hablaba igual sus abuelos de parte de su mamá, de parte de su papá, pues todo, eso es lo que hablan, puro español. Yo
Mhm,
nunca he oído a su abuela o a su abuelo hablar inglés, que me imagino que sí lo entienden, e igual se pueden defender, pero no me acuerdo eh, que lo hablaran mucho, ¿entiendes? Y sí fue algo que en ese tiempo no me acuerdo, obviamente no le ponía tanta importancia, pero sí me pongo a pensar que qué difícil pudo haber sido para ella, una, pensar quién está correcto, mi mamá y mi papá, que son mi mamá y mi papá, o mis abuelos o mis tíos, ¿verdad? Y igual no quiero decir que no es de que no querían que aprendiera inglés, español, pero igual el tipo de vida que llevaban ellos o que lleva uno implementa que hablemos inglés más, ¿verdad? Y en su situación, me acuerdo que mi primo decía, oh, pues ella va a aprender español si quiere. Si ella quiere
mm,
aprender español, ella lo va a hacer. Y si le preguntas ahora, me imagino que sí hubiera querido hablar mejor el español. Sí lo habla, sí entiende muy bien, pero me imagino que sí hubiera querido hablar. mucho mejor. ¿Me entiendes?
Yeah.
And I don't know if she could, if she's listening still or not, but I'm pretty sure she can agree with that.
The funny thing is that so there was another study done where they asked U.S. Latinos. Um, they asked them, is it important to speak Spanish to be considered Latino? Amongst all Latinos asked, 78% said it's not necessary to know Spanish to be considered Latino.
But which that
Hold on,
78%.
hold on,
Okay,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
hold on. Out of that's out of all the Latinos they asked, 78% said it's not necessary. 21% said that it is necessary.
Right.
Where I found it interesting was U.S. and between U.S. born, like foreign born individuals, meaning like in Puerto Rico or something, like 70% said it's not necessary. U.S. born, 87 said U.S. born. So this is like first, second generation, third generation above, right? 85% said it's not necessary. Third percent, 92% said it's not necessary. Um, Bilingual Latinos they asked, 77% said that it's not necessary to know Spanish to be considered Latino. Spanish dominant Latinos, 64% said that is not necessary. That was like the highest category of saying that you need to know Spanish so you can be considered Latino. Which again, if you're gonna be measuring somebody's Latinidad by whether they know Spanish or not, like it's that I know that's why our boy Ryan Garcia gets a lot of heat because he's Latino but he doesn't speak Spanish, right? Um, so I don't know. I just found that interesting that there are a number of people out there that don't think that you should know Spanish to be Latino, which I get it. You don't need you're Latino because you're Latino, right? But um at least I feel personally, without insulting everybody, is if you're Latino, why not know your native language per se, right? If somebody is of Chinese descent, why not learn the Chinese language? If somebody is, Filipino, why not learn Filipino, or Tagalog? Like why
But
not why not learn these languages that essentially, especially if you're all about your culture, like why not?
I believe that if you are that person that you are into that the culture, then yes. Then yes. Obviously, if you're gonna pronounce your name fucking Emilio Zaragoza instead of Emilio Zaragoza, then yeah, you gotta make sure you can back up no, how you're talking or how you're trying to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Um it's a little difficult, bro. It's a little difficult. It's a little overbearing sometimes to keep up with what is correct technically, you know? Um I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if you ever called Adrian and you listened to his voicemail. He says his name, right? But he doesn't say it in English form. Doesn't say Adrian Castañeda or Adrian Castaneda. He says Adrian Castañeda. And I've only heard one person ask, why do you say your name that way?
Who
Ahí
asked?
te la dejo, ahí te la dejo de tarea.
¿Su mamá le preguntó o qué? And
Yes, sir,
what
Bob.
did Adrian say?
That's my name.
There you go.
That's my name.
Nothing else to be said. That's it.
No, proud papa here. Trust me, proud papa. You know,
Yeah.
because I'm glad that he hasn't had to explain his name the way I had to.
Yeah.
You know, because again, he started from the beginning, and he's questioned it. Dad, how come our last name is so difficult? How come our
Really?
last name is so long? Well, he says it's difficult because other people can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
And I told him, it doesn't matter how anybody else says it, as long as you know how to say it, and as
Exactly.
long as you know how to spell it. I go, do you know how to say your name? Yes, of course.
Ahí está.
That's all that matters. Okay. All right. Even Iris too, bro. Mija, what's your name? She won't say Iris. She'll say Edie's.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, Edie's. Edie's.
Every time I hear Iris, I hear Iris Chacon. Iris Chacon. That show probably wasn't for kids, but I remember seeing
It
commercials.
was it was it was not in my dad. I found bro, I found pictures of my parents. My parents back in the day used to go to ¿cómo decían ellos? Vamos a ir a un nightclub, pero eran shows.
A un disco.
Era-
Vamos a
no,
la disco.
no, no era de bailar, eran shows. Eran comedy shows y shows así de burlesque shit like her, like these Chacon and all that shit. And I found a lot of pictures that they took with them. My dad has a lot of pictures with those Skinny Max fucking actors from Mexico way. No, the ones
Ah,
from
la,
Mexico. Sí,
la
güey.
gata.
I don't know who la gata is, pero con el I don't remember the
El
names, bro, but
Resortes,
there's
güey.
like no, ese no, Resortes was comedy, bro. I'm talking about the other for like Alfonso Sayas and all those.
Oh, yeah, 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 those are wild.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Skinemax ones.
El
There's some
caballo, güey.
pictures there. Yeah, way. See, way. I'm not bullshitting. Even with Rafael Inclán, way.
Shit.
I'm not bullshitting you, bro. Yeah, the pictures are there, and yeah. So I saw those. I saw those pictures with that lady too. The ladies check on and so other pictures, you know. But yeah, man. I mean, now Proud Papa and the fact that they were pronouncing their name correctly. Um,
Well, they're pronouncing it how you
do
named them.
do I wish they would speak it more? Yes, I do. I do. And then for that, I do take fault. I think it's our us as parents. It's our fault that we didn't push more for it. Yeah.
I think a message to
I still
you.
I still speak Spanish to
Yeah,
them. I still do,
but I
but
would say
not. I think it's like a 2080.
yeah, but I think a message to you and maybe any other dads or any other dads that are out there that maybe feel I should have talked more Spanish to your kids, whatever. Hey, it's okay. You
Yeah, of
realized it.
course.
Now do your best. Acuérdate y háblales español cuando puedas, right? I, like we are in a society that is English driven. Like I get it. But if you set aside to what we've been trying to do is, Spanish at the dinner table. En español. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Más? ¿Quieres más
Yeah,
agua? Más. Okay, más.
yeah.
At least there, right? And then after that, we try to sprinkle in however. Um, uh, because right now Emilia's in the middle of learning sight words and she's learning new words and learn how to read in English. Um, but once she gets to hopefully the dual immersion program we're trying to put her in, then she'll start learning both. Y chingon.
Oh, that'd
We'll
be
practice
perfect,
both,
bro.
right?
That's one of the things that I do love about school now that they do have these other languages that they can learn, and it's not just Spanish. They have Cantonese, Chinese, German, all these other languages,
That's
which
good.
is great. You know, um, but to tell, at least for me, bro, when I was a mí se me hizo más difícil no hablar el inglés, sino deletrearlo, right? Pero ¿sabes qué me ayudó? That I learned is when I would read the word in English y no me salía o I didn't know how to read it, I would read it in Spanish, bro.
Yes, I was about to say some shit with that. Yeah.
I would read it in Spanish and then I would learn how to spell it like that.
Yep.
That's how I would do my vocabulary. Like in when I was younger, Tuesday, right? Wednesday. Fuck. Tuesday is the TUS and then day, right? No, there's a letter missing. And then I would read it, I'm like, Tuesday. Okay. Okay, Tuesday. Ya salía Tuesday, you know?
Wednesday was the one for me. Wednesday.
Hey, Wednesday.
The Wednesday and then people.
Hey,
People.
People.
That was a but hey, pero fíjate qué chingón somos, güey. Los bilingües. The ones were fortunate enough. Leemos en inglés, pero lo leemos en español en la mente. Lo traducimos,
And it
hablamos
comes out in
y lo
English.
escupimos en inglés.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've thought of, bro, I've been in bed and I'm like, damn. Like you go to a fast food place, bro, right? Y es una señora o una muchacha que se le ve, and it's sad. Pinche nopalón, güey. El nopalote, güey. This people look more Mexican than me, and I'm dark. Y a veces tú piensas que por hablar correcto, porque nos ha pasado, tú sabes muy bien, les hablas en español y, what? I don't speak Spanish. Oh shit. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Aquí me. Yeah. No, yo me acuerdo específicamente un cliente que tuvimos ahí en la tienda de Hawaiian Gardens, que ya hace muchísimo tiempo. No me acuerdo cómo se llamaba, pero me acuerdo que el apellido de este individuo, así le voy a decir, era López. No me acuerdo si tú le hablas,
Yeah,
le
yeah,
ayudaste o
yeah.
Alex, o estaban los dos juntos.
Maybe both of us. Yeah, I
Los
remember I dealt with the
güeros,
same customer.
los dos güeros. Y alguien le dijo, okay, Mr. Lopez, just to verify. Oh, it's not Lopez, it's Lopez.
Lopes.
Exactly, la misma cara que hice yo. Ah, cabrón.
Cabrón. What? Oh. Pero you have to kind of have a poker face with it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm
Sorry,
sorry,
sorry
Mr.
about that.
Lopes.
Yeah. Here it says Lopez.
Man, I think
No,
his name was like
Lopez.
Jose too. Jose Lopes.
Lopes.
Some.
That's why when I see you, sometimes I call you Mr. Morales, because you're white and it's funny.
Yeah. No, I remember. I
Pero ya,
remember. I remember
pero
that.
por eso te digo, gente así, güey, gente así que te digo que I'm like, really?
Yeah. I remember the
Like,
customer that was actually
¿tanto vamos a cambiar el nombre de uno, just to fit in? Lopes.
yep.
Isn't that a
Same
worse name,
relation.
Lopes?
Lopes. Yeah. I also remember the client that had very bad vision, and he's look at his phone like this.
No, you're fucked up, bro. Oh yeah, that's awesome, bro. I want to get that.
Hey, and he used to do that. Oh man, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, man, messed up.
Vas al infierno, güey.
Yeah, and I'll never forget. I asked him to sign once.
This Bluetooth is fucking sick. Yeah. Bro, I don't know why I can't see the live on YouTube, on Instagram.
No sé. Um, But yeah, man, I think um uh I think it's crazy how we're at that point where these are some of the things that, those decisions, these choices, these behaviors that we're gonna have that are gonna influence the futures of our kids, right? Um, and whether we decide to do this or to do that, it's okay. That's the decision you made, and for whatever reason you want to go that way, then all power to you, and we wish you the best of luck. Whatever way you want to raise your kids, there is
But
no right
it's
way.
crazy.
There is no bad way. Just giving you a point of view from our end.
It's crazy though. If you really think about it, Froy, and again, we've seen it, right? We have seen it, especially with you. You and Alex were like my secret weapons at one point,
Yeah,
right? Because we were in a location that was predominant Mexican, right?
yeah,
And but we're also on the border of predominantly white neighborhoods,
yeah,
right? Cypress and La Palma, and a little bit of Liquid. So I remember I would show you guys off. I'm like, oh man, I got my secret weapons. These guys can go off as gringos, but then turn around and activate the paisitas, and I can get kill two birds with one stone,
yeah.
times two, times two. You know, so just imagine the ability that you have technically that you have, because I'm pretty sure you still use it,
Every day, man.
and the ability that you can give your kids, our kids, and how much further they could go. You know,
Yep,
because we also don't want them to be, oh, I wish my parents could have taught us. Oh,
exactly.
you know, why didn't you speak more to me in Spanish? You know, and with both of our children, their names are Spanish names, bro.
Hmm.
It's not like they're named Keith or they're named Ashley or Brian. You
Yeah,
know, they
yeah,
have Spanish
and
names.
and specifically for Emilia, I when we were picking names or whatever, I told her like I want our daughter's name to be Emilia, not Amelia, Emilia,
Mm-hmm.
and I want her to say her name Emilia, right? Like not
Yeah,
Amelia, not Amelia. No, it's
yeah,
Emilia,
right.
Emilia Maria, right?
She's a Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maria for her mom and my aunt.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man. So that was that one, and then Vidal Gael, like like
A él sí lo chingaste, güey.
you know,
There's no. What's your name, bro? My name is Vital.
Vital. Pinche Julio calls him Vital all the time. Like, it's not Vital.
That's a tease, bro.
Yeah.
It's a way that we grew up too, and it's a way that he's gonna grow up a backbone as well. So
Yep. Vital or
just we gotta get
Guile.
not the guy Sonic Boom.
Yep. But yeah,
You
man.
know, it is interesting, bro. I want to see what the listeners are gonna comment on this on the no sabo stuff, because I see it with a lot of people. I see with my kids. I see with my nieces and nephews on both sides, bro. On every single side, and I do applaud um in this part. my cousin, the one that passed away, for pushing forward the Spanish for his daughters, because his daughters do speak Spanish first, and then obviously English second. And they learned English at school, obviously, like it was supposed to be, like we did, you know.
Simon.
So I do applaud him for that. Rest in peace, him. But that's it. I mean, other than that, we had to work. We had to work at it and be more like, not stop, not forget where we come from as well, and what language we spoke first, so that our kids don't forget also where they come from, and who they are, really who they are.
That's what I was gonna say. I think a big part of the language also goes back to culture. And knowing the language and knowing what things are called and knowing what aguacate. Oh, aguacate. You know how to say aguacate, but did you know that's actually the word is actually nahuatl? You know,
Yeah,
and it's not just Spanish. It's Aztec. What? No, and then you can deep dive into the culture, and that's the big extra
yeah.
to
It's got a everything
culture.
has a huge worm. Go down a wormhole, and you could find exactly what the word is or what it wasn't. Like a lot of the words that we say that are Spanglish words, and how we say it. Before we end, like one of the big words is, oh, quiero 2 libras de bistec.
Yep.
La palabra bistec no existe, güey.
Nope.
It was at one point that somebody wanted to order 2 pounds of beef steak, and they couldn't say beef steak, so they call it bistec.
Yep.
Y hasta en México dicen bistec.
Yep. Y el nombre Firulais, güey.
¿Eh?
El nombre Firulais. Querían perros que
Yeah,
eran free of lice.
yeah, yeah.
This,
Firulais. Oh,
this
no, I get it.
it's the mysteries of the language, but at the same time, that's part of the culture of Chicanos.
Same.
The
There,
Chicano
there,
culture.
there's a lot of words, bro, like watcha and all,
Yeah, there's the
an infinite
Chicanismo.
amount
There's,
of
there's a
words. Yeah.
Chicanismo that you don't want to undermine either, and maybe it's not proper Spanish, but it's also
No, but it's part of history.
it's part of history.
It's part of
It's
history.
it's part of Latino culture in America.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so you don't wanna also insult it either. And then we're not. I know you're not, but we don't also want to like talk down on it and say, oh, you shouldn't talk like that. If you talk like that, that's fine, as long as you know that there
It's
is
not
a
correct.
correct way to say thing, and that's how Chicanos say it, and that's fine. I
Simon
think
Dag,
I
Simon
think
Dag.
I think that's the biggest. I think that would be one of the bigger takeaways from that. But other than that, Chris, I appreciate you bringing that Colgate smile out today. Uh, it lightens up the room. Uh,
Hey, bro, I went to the dentist today. No motherfucking cavities whatsoever.
that's good. Got to show them
Fucking
off the
dentist, they
turkeys.
had nothing to lick at. He didn't even know what to charge me. He's like, I don't know what to do. I was like, fuck, dávame los dientes, cabrón.
Yep,
That's what he did.
there it is.
So,
So thank you for bringing them out.
Gucci.
I think that was a good topic today. Thank you for all those that
Yeah, I
commented.
wanna listen to see what people. I wanna read what people say. Um, let's
They
see
haven't
if
said
they have
anything.
a different. No, but in the comments later on when I put
Oh,
on the videos and all that, I want to see what they have to say about it. I want to hear what my sister says about. She's always commenting on our videos. I want
Simone.
to. I didn't get to see it live, but I don't know if our typical listeners were on.
A
So
couple were, but it's okay. They usually comment, and when they're on,
I
and if
want. I
not,
want to.
it's
I
all
want
good.
to know what they say and all that.
Yeah,
See what they're at, how they do it.
yeah. There wasn't too much action. Julio said a couple things, but he was just joking around. So. Yeah. But other than
Chale.
that, guys, I appreciate y'all jumping on. I know sometimes we go 8:30, sometimes we go 9, whatever works. We kind of just figure out what's working out for the day between Chris and I. Um, I do want to make a small announcement that I think we're gonna have to implement next time around.
Actually, big announcement
Is we are going to go exclusively on YouTube. Um,
first.
we're gonna go YouTube first. Maybe I'll start a live on my tablet or something on the side. You can see us over here messing around. But the streams are gonna be directly on YouTube. So we'll share those links. Follow our page on YouTube. It's on our link tree on our profile. Give us a follow. Turn the notifications on. Give us a subscribe. And we'll go from there. It's gonna be a lot better. It's a little bit clearer when we have guests. The faces are going to look a little nicer, a little bit bigger. You'll be able to see everybody. And
Yeah.
on that note, we are going to have a more guests. I do have somebody lined up for next talks. And if you are interested in joining us and having a conversation with us about whatever topic you want to bring in, send us a note, send us a message, and we'll pop you in.
Yeah. With that, don't forget we're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What else?
Every platform. I
Uh,
think we're on
it,
the except Twitter. I don't think we're on X. At least I
no,
don't.
it's except no, not Twitter, not Google Podcast because that doesn't exist no more.
Yeah. So
But everything else, we're still on. If you're not subscribed to YouTube, please subscribe. We would love to get it over 100, hopefully by July. If you guys can help us out with that, again, all our links are on the link tree, and Freud will post them up as well, so that we can grow this guy and make it bigger for us Latinos and fathers as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
And if you have any suggestions, throw them into our suggestion box in our DMs, and we'll get to them and we'll
yeah.
work on them. And we take everything serious for the
And I'm
most
not
part.
gonna smile anymore.
Cool.
All right,
All right,
guys.
guys. You guys have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you next time.
¡Qué padre!